When I was a record producer in London, I first started earning some decent money. I started collecting mid-century furniture. And I had a furniture dealer who I used to go to, and he used to sell me his furniture. And one day I went in there, and he had these rolls of wallpaper that he just bought from France. And I said, they're amazing. And the guy who I used to buy mid-century furniture from, he now sells me his wallpaper. He goes off to France, he goes off to Europe every year, goes off on buying expeditions, and when he comes back, he will always send me his best things, and I will then go yes, no, and make my decisions, basically. I needed a change. This is Scandinavian from the 1960s, okay? And I never thought about using them, and then when we started planning the hotel, my wallpaper collection by then had got kind of a bit crazy, a bit like my record collection, and I thought, okay, this is the perfect place to kind of show the individuality of every single room, and to try and create a relationship between the room, the space in the hotel, and the guests, and just to show, make people comfortable, make people aware of who they are, where they are, and who we are. You know, we are a boutique hotel. We design everything. We communicate our personality into the hotel. And I think that is one reason on the design aesthetic, that why it's been so successful. The first one of home is this one. And if you go back, I don't have anything with me, but I have it in storage. When we first opened the hotel, this is German. And when we first opened the hotel, all the design came from this. We used to have this in a big picture frame behind reception. It's all changed now. And so we used to have matchboxes with all this design. Everything came from this. And this is where kind of the home design came from originally. I only had 2 rolls of it, and this is all I have left. So this is like mine now. But we don't use it anywhere in the hotel anymore, sadly. Originally, we used much less wallpaper because I didn't have much wallpaper, okay? So we would have a quadro of wallpaper on the wall, okay? But then I realized, okay, that looks kind of terrible. Not terrible, but it wasn't like a statement. It wasn't like a thing. So I then had to either find out if we have enough to paint the whole wallpaper the whole wall, or I have to go and find more. So I went off and I found more. So a lot of the original wallpapers that we had had to go because we only had a very small amount. Like I had, for instance, with this one, I had 1 roll. So 1 roll doesn't cover anything. You need 3 rolls to do a wall of a room. So now I have 20 big quadros in my office that don't do anything. But we use as kind of bits of art, like in Suite 18, we have 1 wall which is covered in the wallpaper, and then in the living space, we have a big, huge marco with a quadro of the wallpaper as well, because sometimes you can't find it. It's gone. I find it, and I can't just go to the shop and buy more because it doesn't exist, and people don't kind of understand that. So, and it doesn't matter if it costs me I don't know, $5 or $300 for a roll. There just is no more. It doesn't exist. So you have to make the most out of what you have. But now it has to be, you have to do walls. It's like doing a little quadro just doesn't work. It's not significant enough. Apart from this one, which is another one of the first ones. This is French. This is from the 1970s. That came with a warning, little paper warning saying, do not use this wallpaper over electrical wires because this wallpaper will conduct electricity, because it's so metallic. So I only had one roll of this. And so when we did when I had the big kind of cuadro, it was in a room, and it's like one of my favorites, so we moved it to the lobby, and now it lives in the lobby. So that's that one.
Never in the right place for us to stand by each other. You have to replace.
Mi proceso es difícil explicar, pero I kind of want to have some kind of relationship with the colors and the textures and the patterns of the wallpaper to the space it's in. So for example, this paper you can't see this because it's in front of the garden, but obviously this goes onto the garden. So this is like green and plants and little berries and flowers like the garden. And there are others which kind of look onto the swimming pool a bit more, which are blue, which is this one, which is another amazing one. This is my third favorite I've ever had. Okay, and so that looks out onto the swimming pool, and so you have the blue of the swimming pool, but it also has the plants, so the plants are part of the garden. And then the one in the big garden suite, which is the one that wins all the prizes, that has the kind of plants and everything has a purpose. It's like art has to have a purpose, otherwise it's superfluous. So most of my collection went into the hotel. However, I kept some really special things that are very close to me in my private collection that I will use one day somewhere. But most of it comes from France, the UK, a bit of Scandinavia, a little bit of Germany. But the best stuff always came from France, always. Siempre siglos XIX y XX. Ese papel es 1923. Es francés, es todo, it's made from woodcuts. So it's like carved pieces of wood and they're printed over and over again. And it's amazing. It has texture. It's not just a wallpaper. It's not just a design. You can feel it. You can rub your hands down it and it has a beautiful texture to it. Whereas something like this one, this is made from a machine, okay? So it doesn't have the same feel to it. Which doesn't make it any less beautiful, but the original things are, the work that went into them is incredible. It's incredible. Someone, I think it was an Arab, or I don't know who, some incredibly rich billionaire was redesigning his Palacio in Paris in the 1970s, or late 70s, early 80s, and he had it was all designed. All the interiors were designed, and everything was done. And in Palacios, they have these. I mean, you have Palacios in Buenos Aires too, but they have these kind of moldings on the walls, which are 40 centimeters wide and are X amount of meters high. And these were designed for this, specifically for this. And then this guy came in and he said, no, or this woman came in and said, no, I don't like any of it, I'm changing all of it. So I went and I found these papers, and you'll never be able to see them on the film, but it's they're like art. I don't really have words for what these are, because you probably can't see it. But it's one day up, because this is 8 meters long, so the ceilings must have been 10 meters high, I guess. I don't know. And I have 4 rolls of it. And one day I'll find something to use it. But right now I have no idea.
Taking this new gift, you bring me so much.
And this is really, I will never use this one, okay? But this is from the early, maybe late 1800s, okay? It's for a children's bedroom, okay? And it's all hand printed, but I have no idea. I bought it because it was a beautiful thing. I have no idea where I'm going to use it. It's not home hotel. It will never be for my home. My daughter is now a teenager, so she would not like it anyway. And I don't even want to use it in her room anyway. So it's like a thing. I want to keep it, and they're pieces of art, you know? I own art. I have lots of pieces of art at my home, but wallpaper for me is art, good wallpaper. You can buy terrible wallpaper, which is just wallpaper, but good wallpaper is like you know? It's not like a Picasso or anything, but it's, you know, it's like a piece of art. Art shouldn't be treated as like something precious. Art is something we should live with. Art is important for life, whether it be if you live in a very like humble house and you just have a picture of, I don't know, the Virgin Mary on the wall and like the Pope, I don't know, that's your art. And that's important for you and your space. It's like if someone listens to terrible, what I would consider like terrible music, but that's their art, that's their special, it gives, if anything that gives you emotional something is important for you, okay? In any creative field. And this is it gives me a nice feeling, and I hope it gives the guests a nice feeling too. And it's like, I look at my wallpaper collection and some days I know things are there, but at the same time, sometimes I just like pull it out and it kind of gives me some kind of inspiration for something. It's more it's like a kind of communication of creativity between the designer of the wallpaper and me. And it's hard to explain the relationship I have with it, but it's more a kind of conduct of creativity, because creativity is the root of everything we do here.
Never in the right place.
I love things that people have spent time thinking about and caring about, you know? I mean, creativity can come out of nothing. Creativity can come out of like some 5-minute doodle on a piece of paper, or like some of the best songs come out of, I mean, I know, because I was in the studio, some of the best songs are done in like 3 hours. They'll say later on that they took months and months, but really they took like 3 hours. And it's such an important part of humanity. Creativity. Like you can be creative, like you can be creative playing football, you can be creative making pizza, you can be creative doing anything you want in this world. And it just makes your day better, I guess. Makes the world a better place. That's really all I've kind of got to say about that. Design is important, and art is so important. But art it's not really art, it's creativity. And creativity can come, like I said, like my daughter's creativity in like when she was 3 years old doing some terrible picture at school, but it made her space happy. And it's the same when you're adults. And I think adults forget about creativity because they think about paying the bills or paying the mortgage or like, is their car going to break down or whatever. But if they can try and remember about creativity, then I think their world will be a happier place. And it's certainly made home what home is, which I think is a happy place.